Hello everybody, Toyotarō back here again with another video, and I'm here with my official review for Dragon Ball Super, the manga, Chapter 10. Now, of course, if you haven't seen this chapter, please go check it out, because this review may contain spoilers. So that being said, let's get into Dragon Ball Super. Now, obviously, this is new. I haven't really made separate videos discussing everything about Dragon Ball Super in the manga form, mostly due to the fact that with my Dragon Ball Super reviews that come out every Sunday, I usually like to contain everything of my personal thoughts on the anime, regarding the anime, and of course the manga in one video. But seeing as how for some time now, the anime has surpassed the manga and giving us content for this Champa arc or this Universe 6 tournament, it's kind of been pointless discussing the manga. But seeing as how I really do appreciate and love the manga, I still want to talk about it. So I'm going to start making separate videos for the manga and the anime and various videos. So hopefully you enjoy, and let's see how this turns out. Getting into the actual chapter, we got chapter 10 recently, and in the long run, it's an okay chapter. For me personally, there are specific negatives that bother me. And number one is the content we're getting. It's pretty much verbatim in how we got in the anime. Granted, there's a little bit more action in the anime, there's a little bit more filler moments behind the scenes, but at the long run, it's pretty much the same thing. We're getting Goku versus Frost, Piccolo versus Frost, and then Vegeta versus Frost. That's pretty much what we're getting in this chapter, and I don't think it was done justice. I mean, it plays out a lot like the anime. Goku versus Frost is entertaining, they have a good fight, Goku overpowers Frost, Frost kicks his ass with that attack that we all know is him cheating, using some kind of venomous dart in his wrist. And then we have Piccolo versus Frost, which in the manga is a lot more lackluster in comparison to the anime, sadly. And then we have Vegeta stepping up to the plate, if you will, and pretty much announcing, I'm going to fight Frost, and fuck anybody who has a problem with that. And that's pretty much how it cliffhangs. And at the end of the day, Goku vs. Frost plays out as much as the anime does, and it's okay. It's alright. It's like, okay, Goku kicks some ass, Frost, pretty much beats him because of his venomous dart, because he's a cheater and he's a douche. And then Piccolo comes in. And this is where I have a major problem with the manga chapter. When Piccolo steps in to fight, Piccolo's fight is so lackluster. There's nothing interesting about it. He has nothing. It's pretty much almost like they didn't even want to do anything with Piccolo in this arc, that they just made like 2 or 3 panels and we're like, done. We're okay. We're done. We got to use he's like, and I hate to say it, but it's almost like Piccolo's become the token black guy of the Dragon Ball universe, which really sucks because Piccolo's awesome, yet he never has anything to do lately, and it really aggravates the crap out of me, especially with this chapter, because he has nothing to do. At least in the anime, he got to like power up a special beam cannon for like, I don't know, half an hour, so it is what it is. In the long run, Toyotarō, his illustrations are amazing. I think he's done a great job somewhat imitating Toriyama's artwork to a large degree. But in the long run, there's a major, I guess, canon problem I have with this fight with Piccolo and Frost, that I wish Toyotarō would put more focus in the little details, the subtle details that a lot of us hardcore fans can pick up on. And a lot of that has to do with Piccolo's hands. If you look closely in specific manga panels, Piccolo does his arm stretch thing, his Mr. Fantastic move, if you will, and he's about to attack Frost. But if you look at his hands while he's doing it, he has 5 fingers. And if you are a hardcore fan of the manga portion of Dragon Ball, then you would know that Piccolo has 4 fingers. He doesn't have 5, he has 4. He has 3 index fingers and 1 thumb. In the manga, that specific panels that Toyotarō draws in this chapter, he has 5 fingers, and I thought it was just so absurd that he did that. I mean, Toyotarō, you were doing so good with this artwork, and you had to just fuck up the canon by giving him 5 fingers. Now, granted, this happens all the time with artists and illustrations with mangas. I mean, I'm pretty sure Toriyama fucked up a whole bunch of times with, forgetting things or misdrawing things in the long run of his manga. But at the end of the day, your job is to pretty much imitate his illustrations, and you've done a great job with that, but you fucked up the basics of your character design by creating fucking more fingers on his hands. And I know it's a little thing, but it just really bothers me as a hardcore fan. But overall, the chapter itself is a little lackluster. I wish the fights were a little bit more epic in comparison to the anime, because at least in the manga form, you have, like, your imagination. That's how far you can go with your illustrations. It's your imagination. You can just draw whatever you want, and I don't feel like Toyotarō is really going out there with his illustrations, with this chapter at least, in comparison to the anime, so I was really hoping for some really extravagant looking illustrations, and we really didn't get that. We pretty much get verbatim for what happened in the anime, and it also felt a lot faster paced. They really want to just speed the shit out so they can get right into the abhorrent stuff, which I feel like is okay, but not the best move. I mean, I'm just saying, the manga, for the longest time, up until right now, the manga has been superior to the anime. I mean, like, there's been nothing wrong with the manga so far that's really bothered me. If there's anything that ever bothered me with the manga portion of Dragon Ball Super, maybe the ending of the Battle of Gods arc, but that being said, and maybe the Goku versus Beerus stuff, at least when he becomes a god, other than that, the manga has been on par. It's been so freaking great and amazing to read and look at, but in this chapter is like, it's okay. So, but with that being said and done, my final verdict for this chapter is a solid 6.5 out of 10. It's an okay chapter, but it's not amazing, it's not extravagant, it's not anything different from what we saw in the anime, and in the long run, I'm excited to see how things change in upcoming chapters, but I'm pretty much guessing that we're going to get more or less the same with upcoming chapters, pretty much just verbatim for what we've seen in the anime. But with that being said and done, comment below. Let me know what you personally think about this overall chapter. Let me know what your personal thoughts are on Goku versus Frost and Piccolo versus Frost, the little things I had to mention about the chapter itself, and overall whether or not you would like to see me do more reviews on the manga portion of Dragon Ball Super and separate videos in comparison to my anime reviews, which will still be coming out, obviously, every Sunday. But with that being said and done, just comment below and let me know. Shameless plug time. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jonch12. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I hope you guys enjoyed. And this has been Jonch12.